Welcome back to the Make Time for Success podcast. This is episode number 149. If you're interested in a very easy way to elevate your health and wellness, please stay tuned for the rest of the episode. Today, I have Kimmye Bohannan as my special guest. Kimmye is not just a serial juice drinker, but also the CEO of The Weekly Juicery and the mastermind behind incredible programs like the Juice Ritual, the Guided Juice Experience, and the Chasing Good Health programs. Before her journey with juice, Kimmye worked at JPMorgan Chase in investments and risk management. However, in the year 2012, she had a revelation that would change her life and the lives of thousands of others. Kimmye started making organic juice and delivering it right to her friends' doorsteps. And that was the beginning of the Weekly Juicery. Fast forward to today, the Weekly Juicery has grown immensely, now delivering their rejuvenating juices all over the United States. They have made over 1 million bottles of juice and have helped countless individuals begin their journey towards good health instead of waiting for disease. Kimmye truly believes that everyone deserves to feel amazing and that juice can be the magic bullet to jumpstart your health journey. You're going to hear all about her journey and her successes. But before we dive into the episode, I want to remind you to consult with your healthcare professional before making any changes to your health regimen. So let's get into this episode. Let's meet fun Kimmye and let's learn all about juice together. Hi, I'm Dr. Christine Lee, and I'm a psychologist and a procrastination coach. I've helped thousands of people move past procrastination and overwhelm so they could begin working to their potential. In this podcast, you're going to learn powerful strategies for getting your mind, body, and energy to work together so that you can focus on what's really important and accomplish the goals you want to achieve. When you start living within your full power, you're going to see how being productive can be easy and how you can create success on demand. Welcome to the Make Time for Success podcast. Hello, my dear listeners. It's Dr. Christine Lee, and today I have a wonderful and lovely and very enterprising special guest. Her name is Kimmye Bohannan. And she is the CEO and creator and founder of The Weekly Juicery. We're going to dive right in to this exciting topic and this exciting woman. Thank you, Kimmye, for being here with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Terrific. Could you let us know how you got to be The Weekly Juicery and also any other things about who you are and where you come from and your background that will help us to round out the picture of who you are?
Got it. Perfect. Yes. So I was the crazy person that started the Weekly Juicery in my kitchen 12 years ago. And the only people drinking juice 12 years ago were also hugging trees. They were very few and far between. Juice was not mainstream. It was so far from mainstream at that point that it's kind of ridiculous that I even did it. But I didn't start the Weekly Juicery with the intention of starting a business. It was really interesting how this happened. I started making juice for myself because I woke up, I was 39 years old and I did not feel good. I was working a job I didn't love, long hours, lots of travel. I had 3 children under age 5 and I just didn't feel good. I felt like I was tired all the time. I felt like my nutrition was really off. I felt like I had zero energy to get through my day. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the expression kind of like aging in dog years. That was me. I thought, wow, like something bad's going to happen to me. Like if I'm already 39, I'm already like not feeling good. Something's going to happen. And I came across strangely a book called Raw Food for Women, the author Natalia Rose. And inside she had a recipe called green lemonade. And I was like, wow. And I mean, meanwhile, at this time, my diet was just garbage. Like I didn't really have this is in, the year 2011. I didn't really have a lot of knowledge about nutrition and plant-based eating. And so this was all new for me. And her recipe for green lemonade was all vegetables, no fruit at all. And I'm like, well, lemonade, how bad can that be? Right. And so I made it. And the first time, you're like, oh my goodness, right? It's like drinking a salad. But here's what I learned really fast is juice is a magic bullet. It was like a magic bullet. I started feeling better. I started looking better. I had a better outlook on life. I had more energy. I had more vitality. I felt better than I had ever. And sort of like everything came together. And so you say, well, you didn't really say you're going to start a business. And so how did that happen? Well, friends started asking me, what are you putting on your skin? And I'm like, well, nothing. I mean, nothing different. I don't know, like nothing different. The same old stuff I've always used. And it's because they would always say that my skin is glowing. And I thought, wow, it's this green juice. That's what it is. And so I started saying, well, it's this green juice. You can make it. I drink it every day. And so believe it or not, in about, we'll call it 8 to 10 weeks, I had 80 weekly customers out of my house. I knew that just telling my friends to make it would not work because making juice, while it's not hard, it's time consuming and messy. And I also knew that most of my friends were in the same position I was. They were young moms with busy jobs and they didn't have time to like make their juice and come and get it. So I required them to drink juice Monday through Friday. I wasn't just going to let them buy one juice. They had to pay for 5. And I made it for them and I delivered it to their doorstep. And I did that for 80 customers out of my house until I said, okay, this is crazy. And I opened a retail store. And some people have asked me, and it's kind of a funny, why is it called the Weekly Juicery? And I'm like, because I didn't make juice on the weekends. That's why it was called the Weekly Juicery. And so it came from very humble beginnings. And gosh, as of today, we've made over 1 million bottles of juice. We are certified organic by the USDA. We operate on a very strict FDA food safety plan. We teach people about fasting and the power of juice. And, today we still make juices that don't have much fruit. We have a few juices that have some fruit, but we want to teach people about this plant power that you can get. I have courses about fasting and helping people chase good health. So yeah, it's been quite a journey and one I did not really embark on, if that makes sense. I never said, oh, I'm going to, start a juice business. That was never in the cards for me. So
well, congratulations. And it sounded like it was a very organic piece of success that you had.
Yes, it was. It was. It was like a labor of love and it worked. Yes.
Yeah. I think love is the best way to grow things. So congratulations again. If I remember correctly, the green lemonade is your highest seller, most popular drink. Is that correct?
It is still today. And, I actually worked with Natalia Rose and I did a detox training with her. And along the way, I also became an integrative health practitioner. So, I learned quickly it's not just juice. There's a lot of pieces and parts, to growing younger and kind of living vibrantly. But I told her, I said, I'm using your green lemonade recipe. I said, it sells so much. She's like, great. So I always give her credit. But yes, it's the #1 bestseller still today. We can't make enough of it. It has a whole head of romaine, 12 stalks of kale, a cucumber, a lemon, and an inch of fresh ginger. And that is it. It is green lemonade, super green, super plant heavy juice.
Okay. Drinking a salad. Sounds great.
That's exactly like what that. Have you ever had sort of a super high powered green juice? Are you a juice drinker?
I am a juice fan. Absolutely.
Okay.
I tend to prefer I'm very much a sweet tooth kind of person. So more the fruit heavy. I'm a big fan of celery juicing as well for the skin benefits, the anti-bloating. Mm-hmm. I just really believe in that personally, from just personal experience. And it does help with skin glow and hair health.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly as well. So I'm definitely a believer. I also want to learn more from you about, if you don't mind sharing and going back again, what was going on with you? You were saying your diet was kind of all over the place. Yes. Was there something medical going on or some sort of other source of depletion?
No, but I'll tell you, something medical would have found me. I always say that people in their lives are either they're doing one of two things. They are waiting on disease or they are chasing good health. And you can't be doing both at the same time. They're mutually exclusive states of being. And so what I could say is my life as it was at that time was 100% teeing me up to wait on disease. Chronic disease and illness hadn't found me yet, but if I had stayed on that trajectory, it most certainly would have. As I said, I would grab fast food on the way home from my office, then try and make something fast for the kids. I was constantly in a run and gun mode. And I think it caught up with me I felt like I didn't have enough time in the day to be a really great, corporate American, corporate citizen with my job. And then also, like I said, I had 3 children, all under age 5, which was crazy. And so anyway, I didn't have anything glaring, but I had all the warning bells going off. I was tired all the time. I couldn't sleep. I started gaining weight. I felt bad. My skin looked bad. I just sort of lost that pep in my step. And that really, when you're sort of chasing good health and you're living vibrantly, you just kind of have a pep in yourself. Life is working out. I was the complete opposite of that. It felt like I was having to drag through mud, to kind of get through my day. Life was not really playing with me. It was really hard. And so I feel blessed every day that I came across this green lemonade recipe, and here we are.
Okay, great. Can you share with us what you've learned from working with all of your customers and seeing their transformations and what they had to kind of break through to become juice fans? Could you talk about all of that?
Yes. In the early days, there were not a lot of people drinking juice. It just wasn't a mainstream thing. Like I said, the year 2012, 2013 just didn't exist. There were a couple of juice companies that I knew of at that time, one in New York, one in California, but I didn't, just certainly not in Kentucky, which is where our headquarters is. And so it took a little bit of convincing. I remember my husband said, no one is going to pay you for this, Kimmye. Who would drink this? And so I remember, him saying that because it was a little bit of a learning curve. I had to teach them about what it was and then teach them the benefits. It's sort of strange that you have to kind of teach both, but it was really fast. I mean, the thing about juice, as you know, because you're a juice drinker, is your taste buds change very quickly. If at first taste, it's not ideal for you, you better believe by the second or third time, it is ideal for you. And it is the closest thing that I know of as sort of this magic bullet to make a transformation in your health. Today, if we fast forward 10 years later, 11 years later, I don't have to convince people anymore. People know this really healing power of high quality, well-made juice. So I don't have to do really the convincing of the product. Now I mostly teach people, hey, it's possible for anyone listening, it is 100% possible to grow younger from the inside out. And that's what I help people with mostly today through our courses, through our teaching, through our chasing it out. That's really it. It's possible and you don't have to take my word for it. It was just proven in 2 studies published by the National Institute of Health in 2022. So we actually have the power to turn back the clock. And to me, that's it's so exciting.
Wonderful. What did they find in their research? If you can provide more details.
Yes, I will. So Dr. Kara Fitzgerald, researcher scientist, ran 2 studies in the year 2022, published both of them in the National Institute of Health. I think it's always, it's always good when we can actually have the proof, right? When we can actually have the peer-reviewed study. And she did 2 studies, one for men, one for women, for obvious reasons. These people are at midlife. So the study participants were midlife. And I'm not going to quote the exact ages because I don't have the study in front of me. They were midlife. They were in average health, not super, super healthy and not plagued with chronic disease. And she measured their biological age at the beginning of the study, meaning the age our body believes it to be. Today, I'm 51. I'm always going to be 51 chronologically. But what I hope is that my body believes it to be 35, 40, right? So she measured their biological age. And then she had them do simple lifestyle habits for 8 weeks. And then she measured their biological age at the end. And at the end of the 8 weeks, participants had a 3-year reduction in their biological age. 3 years in 8 weeks. I mean, that's unbelievable. And when we talk about these sort of lifestyle habits, I think sometimes people believe that things are very complicated, medically. So, oh, I have to source African wild horsetail from Mount Kilimanjaro, to make this work. No, these are simple lifestyle habits, moving your body after eating food 45 minutes a day, taking a greens powder. They had to kind of make it a little simpler because not everybody would have access to the same juice. So flooding your body with a greens powder, following a keto-leaning diet with lots of plants. And so there were just a few things that they did. And simple things that we can all do. And the same study, I think the women's study, they actually reduced it by a little more than 3 years, maybe 3.6, and maybe the men 3 years, which is just amazing. We're seeing this field of regenerative medicine and, this like epigenetics branch of medicine that tells us, wow, we have so much control over our health trajectory. We are not powerless in this journey. We have so much control, and that feels really good, So today, to answer your question, I mostly spend time helping people reclaim this like powerful sovereignty over their health and teaching them, hey, like you're just getting started. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can age with a youthful countenance. So it's really fun.
Great. Could you share maybe a case study of someone who was really maybe with a medical issue without naming names, or just describing what someone can do with a simple shift?
Yeah. There are sort of like even just one juice a day, even if you are not going to, I want to just kind of like break through the like that it has to be really complicated and that has to be, oh, I've got to do this super long juice fast. You can enjoy one juice a day and add 2 to 3 pounds of organic plants to your body, and you are going to feel the impact. Your body will begin working on your gut microbiome, which tells your brain to want more of the same. And I've seen people that absolutely, didn't love fruits and vegetables, had a struggle eating fruits and vegetables. Customer after customer after customer. Oh my gosh, I love fruits and vegetables now. I'm so connected to eating in that way. And that's a very simple case study. And then I have all the way to the extreme. Currently, as of right now, where we're recording this, I have a client and the customer who's on day 42 of only juice in a medically supervised fast. She's working with an integrative health doctor, a functional MD, and they have her only on juice because she had severe parasite activity and was headed in a direction that was needed an about face. So I think she's on day 42, maybe as of today. And so she's completely transformed her health. She's, her skin is bright and glowing as she's lost the excess weight. She's moved through the parasite activity. And, so it's amazing to watch the transformation and to see that you can exist for 42 days on only juice. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay.
So her health is completely transformed. She was headed toward a very serious chronic health issue. And in working with her functional doctor, she's been able to turn it around. So that's probably the most extreme. I've given you the two extremes. But yeah, we've helped thousands of people make a change and a turn to their health trajectory. So lots of people come here or do the guided juice experience because they were a little bit where I was. And maybe some of your listeners are, which is like, listen, I don't feel my best. And that's probably the number one customer and client that I help. Well, listen, if you're not feeling your best, if you can't answer honestly a resounding yes, when I ask you the question, if you feel amazing, then we need to get busy changing that. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what's going on. Everybody deserves to feel amazing. Everybody deserves to feel their best. And I believe juice is a magic bullet to get people started.
Okay, terrific. You mentioned the guided juice experience.
Yes.
And I've heard you mention that phrase. Could you be more specific about what that is?
I can. That is like our starting place because, as you know, as a juice maker and juice drinker, sometimes it's a little complicated. When do I drink the juice? How much juice do I drink? When do I start? When do I stop? What do I do when I stop drinking the juice? How do I start the juice fast? What does a fast even do for me? How does a fast work in my body? So I find that my customers and clients have tons of questions. And what my goal has been from the very humble beginnings of the Weekly Juicery is that I really give them the why and the education that they can take forward to really maximize the return on their investment of our juice. And so I created a program called the Guided Juice Experience. I choose 7 juices and 3 wellness shots for our clients. I ship it right to their doorstep. And I should say now, because if I get the question, USA doorsteps only at this point. We have tried getting juice to our international. It just is a tricky business with customs. So USA doorsteps. And then they get a 50-page book in their box. And it is called the Guided Juice Experience. They can work through each module. I teach them how juice is fortifying their immune system, how it's lowering their overall stress level, how it's healing their nutrition and creating the good gut bacteria in their gut. And then I teach them obviously the why, the when, the what to, the not, when you should do, what you shouldn't do, all those kind of juice Q&As. And then I teach them some healthy habits to get them going on this path so that they have something to take forward. And, some people do the Guided Juice Experience as a full day fast. It's 7 juices. So they spend 1 full day in a fast. Some people do 1 juice a day. They're at a place where they just want to start with 1 juice a day for a week. We have other people that do kind of a modified fast where they'll have 3 juices and then a nice plant-based dinner and then repeat the second day. And so we give them options in our book and in our course for doing that. They also get access to our 5-module course and we work them through all the teachings. And then at the very end, we teach them how to make green lemonade right in their kitchen so that they can be a green lemonade maker, because I want people to really keep doing this. And, Dr. Frank Lipman said in his book, How to Be Well, like everybody needs to master a juice habit. And I agree with him. And that's my way of helping people master the juice habit.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for all the work that you have done to bring this love of yours to the masses. And
Yes.
I would love to shift to the business side because I know when you and I met, I got the story of how complex a journey it has been for you.
Oh,
and you have this lovely, vibrant, happy attitude. There has been a lot of stress and drama in your story. Can you please share some of that and your reflections?
Yes. It sounds, as we've talked up to now, I'm glad you asked this question, that this was an easy thing. And let me tell you, it has been like one of the most challenging things I've ever done. And so, yes, it's hard to be a juice maker. For anybody in entrepreneur land looking to start a business, I'm going to give you a PSA right off the bat. It is not organic juice. It's just not. And to be honest, there were several points along this 10 or 11 years where I said, okay, that's it. I'm waving the white flag. I just can't do it. I can't do it because one of the things I learned early on is that when you really love something, there's a lot of care and keeping that goes into it. So, example, I refused to make product quality compromises in order to make money. I just said, listen, no, we're talking about my health. We're talking about the health of all of our customers and clients. Sure. I hate to break it to everyone here, but 90% of the juice companies that you may be buying juice for, there's a lot of water in that bottle. And it's still green because of, the bright, sort of vibrant, green of the kale. So you can make literally 5 ounces of water, couple ounces of cucumber, 1 piece of kale, and it's going to be green. But that's not green lemonade as really is transformed my life. So I can't make a product that's less than that. Well, it's pretty expensive. I don't know if anybody's ever juiced vegetables, but some of them are not juicy at all. Things like green apple and those sort of filler ingredients are much more juicy and therefore profitable. And what we saw in the juice business as it took off is that people had to make those product quality compromises to really make money. And I just said, I'm not doing that. So if I have to do that, then I'm not making juice. And so it took us a long time, tons of manufacturing and logistical issues to figure out a model that worked for us. And that model is really being able to ship, to everybody in the USA. That was, a year of working with the packaging engineer. So the juice doesn't freeze, but arrives in temperature. You name it, we've done it. And so it was a big kind of hill to climb, but I'm happy to say that now that we do have the education that goes along with it, we found a model that works after 10 years of really like making all this juice, packing all these boxes. I mean, I've packed boxes where my hands are like frozen in a walk-in cooler. We've done it all. And yeah, it's a labor of love, folks, labor of love.
Oh, well, I am so impressed, so proud of you, so thankful for people like you in the world, and so glad that you've survived too.
Yeah, we made it. Yeah, like, a knowledge of what you love kind of burns within you. And even like when we get really quiet, and you might have had this in your own business, like when we get really quiet, we always know whether we're keeping going or we're turning around. And that knowledge just comes to you. And so while I said, there are times where I wanted to like, okay, I'm out, wave my flag. I tried so hard, I just can't do it. This sort of the path forward has always been revealed to me. It's like the next door kind of opens and I sort of get connected into this next thing. And I'm like, okay, that's the answer. We keep going, right? I've asked these questions for, guidance, and I always get it. So I feel like, I'm probably on the right path.
Wonderful. I think you are. And I think you're extending your journey to our customers as well, our listeners. Could you please share the ideas that you have about how people can start with you and just get a taste of what you're doing?
Yes. So I want to give everybody listening here a chance to try the Guided Juice experience. We have all of our customers start there. That's like the starting point of, hey, I want to learn about juice. I want to learn about this magic bullet. It's the starting place for getting going. And I want to give everybody a $50 discount to use so that if they're listening here, you can have a special discount so that you can experience what the transformation with juice really feels like. It's one thing to just drink juice. It's another thing to really use juice and use this time and this knowledge to make an about face for your health, to kind of maybe move away from this idea of waiting on disease over to this paradigm shift of chasing good health. When you're done, you'll also have a chance, if you want, to join the juice ritual. We have, probably 200 or 300 people. We do it all together the first Monday of every single month. We do a fast all together, and we do a growth challenge where we're really up leveling our mind, body, spirit. Next year, I'm finally launching the Chasing Good Health Academy. I've been working on it for a couple of years. I have 52 habits that help you chase good health. We do one each week, and we just practice them together. So yeah, you'll be watching for that, and it'll be launching in January.
Terrific. Yep. Busy lady that you're hearing from, ladies and gentlemen. We have created a special link so that you can get that $50 code for the $50 off of the juice experience. And we're going to say that is maketimeforsuccesspodcast.com/juice. maketimeforsuccesspodcast.com/juice. I want to thank Kimmye for your generosity, your passion, your adorableness here. And I just so admire you. And I'm so grateful that we know each other and are friends now too.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much for having me.
You're the best. Okay, everyone. So go follow Kimmye. Can you tell us your Instagram handle?
Yes, theweeklyjuicery.com. The like THE weeklyjuicery.com.
Okay.
And we do now make juice on the weekends. It's just when we started, I didn't make juice on the weekends. So it's called the Weekly Juice. People ask me that all the time. And this story is sort of funny. I'm like, well, I didn't make juice on the weekends. I mean, that was my like day off. So in any case, it's theweeklyjuicery.com.
Okay. And Instagram, it's The Weekly Juicery, correct?
Yes. Everything's the same. That's right. Theweeklyjuicery.com. Yeah. You can find out about all the fun stuff we're doing.
Terrific. Let's explore. Let's chase health together. And we're in this together. Thank you so much for being our guide.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next Thursday when the next episode drops. Take care. Thanks for being here. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Make Time for Success podcast. If you enjoyed what you've heard, you can subscribe to make sure you get notified of upcoming episodes. You can also visit our website, maketimeforsuccesspodcast.com, for past episodes, show notes, and all the resources we mention on the show. Feel free to connect with me over on Instagram too. You can find me there under the name Procrastination Coach. Send me a DM and let me know what your thoughts are about the episodes you've been listening to. And let me know any topics that you might like me to talk about on the show. I'd love to hear all about how you're making time for success. Talk to you soon.